Welcome back to Sagas of the Icelanders. We've got some people facing off in a duel to the death
And
over the fate
IRL.
of a boy.
You
And
guys,
IRL.
Okay.
there were some
Uh,
battles going on
bef-
between Jesse and Shannon and
so
I.
there's kind of like this weird standoff thing, and
Yeah.
before anything happens, just sort of I want to assess the situation, and because it's kind of strange that Olaf looks not tied up, you
Yep.
know,
He does
kind
look
of
not tied
weird.
up.
Like Ingeborg is there, not
Mm-hmm.
sure why.
Could you tell?
So
Could you tell that from your position?
Yes, they can see.
probably
Like
I just want to cause
everybody's
trouble.
all
All right,
everybody's
whatever.
all running around grabbing weapons, and Olaf is just like, huh? And he's got like a big turkey leg. He's like, what's going on?
nice.
Yeah. So
I'm
go ahead.
The uneasy situation. I'm gonna consider an uneasy situation.
Yeah. Roll
So-
plus your versed.
2D. Stop. Paper's in the way. I have too many notes. Adam.
So many notes.
No,
Too
not
many notes on the dance floor. Too many
Adam.
notes.
And my
Okay,
verse
Rovik,
is what is my verse?
roll that at a -1, please.
Oh, really? Aw. Fine.
Okay, 8. That's not bad. So that means you get to ask one of those questions. What is the most I can make out of this situation? What snares have been set for me? What is a honorable way out? What is the safest position I can take?
None of these are really exactly what I want. What is the most I can make out of this situation? I guess would be the question I would ask.
So like you see everybody grabbing their weaponry, but like they know that they're outnumbered. They see like the shield maiden off on the other side. They see you and your like 9 boys rolling up on this side. There's only like 5 of them total. They're not super keen, but they've got their weapons. They don't really know who you are or what's going on. Man, Scum is like, he is ready to go. He's just like marching forwards. All of this is happening in like super slow-mo, right? He's like raising his shield, bringing out his sword, marching forwards into the camp. Grim and Vibjorn are like marching after him. If you can find some kind of a way to stop them, then maybe you can sort of sort out and get, get Olaf back without shedding any blood.
Better hurry, because I'm about to berserker mode all over this shit.
Damn it.
Your scholar is about to berserker mode all over that shit. So
Fucking children, man. Like, it is tough being a man. Just saying.
Did you just insult my honor?
No. It's out of character. Okay, well, it doesn't look like this needs to be a fight, at least not yet. So, I'm gonna shout, "Scum! Others, just wait!" And then I'm gonna I guess I'm gonna start running and try to get in front of them and put my hand up in front of Scum and then keep kind of like my blade behind me so that I can like, if this does turn into a battle, I can get jiggy with it. So, yeah.
yeah.
I can't
Yeah,
wait to see how this turns out.
Like he says he sort of stops and he looks you coldly in the face, Rovik, and he says, "You have insulted my honor, Rovik. Will you deny me this chance to show you that my sword arm is as strong as any? My blade thirsts for blood. Will you now stop me from claiming the glory that is mine?"
Scum, you are long-winded. Give it a moment, and then maybe your blood and your blade can taste blood. And I turn over and I look at Olaf and I look him dead in the eye and I just go, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. Does anybody have a bond with Scum?
Unfortunately, nay,
don't.
good sir.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of like, you're telling him that you want to use your words, and he's like, "No, I want to use my swords."
Words.
Good words. I love it.
Like, if
That's
you
good
wanted, you could maybe you could insult him into like stopping and be like, "You're such a hothead, you asshole, like quit running your mouth and your sword, like you're gonna get us all killed." But that's kind of the only way that you as a man can really stop him.
Really?
Unless one of the women here wanted to raise their voice and talk sense. Because, like, you
We're on the
can't...
other side, though. We're on the other side of the
God
encampment.
damn it,
yes?
women. Get your
You're-
shit together.
you're on the
Raise your
other-
voices.
You're on the other side, but you're close enough that you can see and sort of, you can detect the general tenor of what's going on over there, right? So, like, this is that weird thing. Like, earlier when Jesse was just flat out not able to corral the guys the way that he expected, just like that, Rovik can't just stop this guy from doing things by talking at him. That's women's work. So,
Oh.
what are you going to do?
Yeah. What are you going to do?
One of the women could speak up and be like, hang on, guys, everybody's going to get really hurt if we
What
go
is
into this.
Jesse? What the
Can I
hell?
ask a question? Is the scene right now, just so we can set this up, a group of men marching from the shoreline, all like ready to roll, and meanwhile these guys in the camp are scrambling in order to get ready for war, and then suddenly the group stops. A dude turns to another dude, and they start arguing mid-charge. Is that what just happened?
This
It's
is
not like-
basically what just happened, yeah.
It's
kind
not like a charge, right? They're not like running across the field, but like they're
No.
all sort of moving
They were walking
forwards.
with purpose.
They're closing to like that 100-foot distance where they're going to
My
start
group of
charging.
guys, like, beating their shields.
And then
being,
Rovik
like-
steps in front. And he like puts his hand on the other guy's chest. He's like, "Hang on, we need to think about this." The other guy's like, "Fuck off, you know, like my honor is in question. I have to show you my sword arm is as good as anybody else's." That's kind of the situation. So Rovik is not Rovik, but Scum is just kind of brushing past Rovik right now.
All right.
Basically, Scum has an e-peen issue, and he's like swinging his penis
Yep.
around and smacking Rovik
Yeah.
with it.
Yep,
So,
it's
All right.
too
So
big
now
to-
you're learning a lot about men right now. That's very this is very educational for both of you.
Oh.
So I because clearly I noticed that old crone lady over here isn't doing anything.
Yeah.
I tell Ari to cover me.
Mhm.
And then I'm not sure where we're at in this clip, but as dramatically as possible without getting injured, jump off and down into the sort of the ravine area and shout Olaf's name as
Yeah.
loud as loud as I can. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
like,
totally.
I'm like, Olaf, what are you doing? Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. That's no problem. You just jump down, Shield Maiden landing, shouting Hulk shout, "Olaf, what are you doing?" Olaf sort of looks at you. He says, "Hilda," and like the guys there, like the two women there are like they're sort of holding spears, but it's clear they're not Shield Maidens. Like they're just trying to protect themselves or whatever. So like they all sort of pause and they see you, and they're kind of there's kind of this moment where people are sort of waiting to see what you're gonna do.
Okay, so right when
It's just a
right when
moment.
you hear Hilda's voice, I look at Scum and I say, "Listen to your woman who has more manliness than you ever did."
Oh shit!
Why would
Yeah,
you do
that's
that?
a
Oh,
good
shit.
insult. God
So
damn, Rovik.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
guess
gotta-
I kind
you
of
gotta roll
I gotta
that
roll
plus
for this
gendered.
shit again.
Yep.
Oh, I'm tempting fate so
Just
hard
roll those
today.
tens, baby. Just keep
Oh
them going.
god, what is this?
jinx
Insult another man. It's gendered.
jinx
So
7.
good to me, gods.
Yeah, you know what? He turns to you, Rovik. He says, "If you won't lift your sword to defend your family and your homestead and your honor, then I will do it for you. But you and I will meet later on a duel field." And he just like charges forwards into this group and starts laying about him with his sword, just like hacking and slashing left and right.
He's
Grim
trying to
and
attack them?
Grim and Vibjorn are right on his heels. It's heated battle time. So here's the way this works.
Oh.
Do I have time to react to this?
No, like basically there was a long period where you guys could have possibly reacted.
Someone needs to get a screenshot of Steven do that.
and now you're dead. So no, not dead. Okay, so
Well, but there's no reaction to them turning to charge. I'm all right.
yeah, like it's all happening
Steven.
right now. So if you want to do something like as they clash, go for it. What do you want to do?
I want to grab Olaf and get him out of there. So my objective is to get
Oh,
Olaf.
yep.
That's why
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
here.
That's going to be tempting fate. You're going to be rushing into this battle and trying to grab Olaf. Okay, so pick two.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I have a question. So it says on a 7 to 9, when I insult someone, they can choose. They choose one of the options, right?
Yes.
So, and he chose
what he
to
did.
challenge to a duel later. So does that mean he should be stopping and listen to me still, or does that mean he still carries on and does both?
He's carrying on.
Okay.
Steven being a real dick this
He's
game.
like, you
Being
know
a
what?
real
I got
dick."
other things to do right now, but later, we, it's going down.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Now let me think about that. You know what? No, I think you're right. So like the way this works is that on a 7 to 9, you generally get what you want, but there's a complication.
Yeah.
So
that's what I
okay,
thought.
so yeah, you know what? Scum actually does sort of. He sort of stops. He like lowers his sword. He looks at you. He says, "You know, fine. 2 of us can't lead this war party. If you want to be the leader right now, that's fine. But you and me are going to figure this out later. And there's only going to be one of us. That's the way it works out. That's better. Thank you for calling me out on that, Shannon. You deserve that victory, not a shitty defeat.
Damn fucking right, yo. I rolled 7.
All right, good, cool.
right.
So yeah, like you sort of everything sort of grinds to a halt. We're retconning just a little bit.
Rip it.
Everything sort of grinds to a halt, and like people are sort of facing off. Nobody's clashing. Nobody's like warring with sides on sides. Hilda, what are you doing?
I yell at Olaf, Olaf, come to me, boy.
Oh, Shannon just took a drink when that happened to them.
Jesse.
Olaf, come to me, boy.
Boy, get over here, boy.
You know what? You know what would be a really good idea in this circumstance is actually for
What, Steven?
it would be for Ingeborg to raise her voice and talk sense to Olaf, because
Wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't it though?
You
But
got
Kendall
like
ain't done
bonds and shit
jack.
with this son.
right. So like
Boy.
you're actually gonna mark experience if you do that, Krender.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, now that XP
Well, I was
is
letting it
involved.
happen.
Now that it's like
my-
personally
My
like
dream vision could come true. But now that I can get experience,
Yeah.
Wait, what's your dream vision?
my sheep painting of people dead in a mountainside.
Yeah,
All right.
don't you
Brenda's
guys
like,
remember?
I would
Hang on,
like
we got to
to
go
see
back to
people
see that.
die.
Okay, here we go. We're going to come right up. Here's the dream vision. Yep, good. Yep, Iceland. Hooray.
You know what? Sometimes your visions don't come true, Gander. You just have to be okay
But if
with
they
it.
do come true, people believe me even more.
But if
Man,
it's
there's
crazy fucking old lady.
that's actually a really interesting way to play your character too.
Yeah.
That's kind of like
Is.
because it's that's cool. I like that.
you can't you can't beat the fates, dude.
Can't beat the
All right, so are you gonna like raise your voice and talk some sense into this kid, Krender?
All right. Yeah, I'm like,
Olaf, what are you doing?
Yeah. What else? I mean, like, what else do you say? 'Cause what are you doing isn't really talking sense.
He was like, "Oh yeah, like what else?"
You have to. Yeah. So like, I guess. Roll plus versed,
all right.
and we'll see how much hold you get.
Is that 2 plus 1?
Oop, you gotta do. Wait, what?
Gotta,
Oh, wait. Left,
Why is it doing
What
a
did you
thing?
do?
what'd you do?
I think.
I
Yeah, there
don't
you
know
go.
what
I think
I
you
did.
didn't do slash or something.
All right, 7. Good. Okay, so you hold 1, so you can spend your hold to give advice on a favorable course of action or warnings against a course of action to those present. Anybody who takes your advice gains +1. Anybody who goes against your advice takes a -1.
All right. Wait. So anybody that takes my advice, so it would only,
You have
but
to
it would
give
only be
advice
Olaf
first.
then.
So you can be like, hey, don't attack each other. Anybody who doesn't attack each other
Steven's
gains
like,
a +1.
Hint, this is what you should be doing right
Anybody
now.
who does attack each other
But
gains a
Krendor
-1.
I
wants,
love it.
you don't understand. Krendor wants
No,
to kill each other.
Yeah, Krender's like out
They're just
for
like, but I
stuff.
don't really want them to do that.
But I
Or-
thought I'm
or-
only talking to Olaf.
Here's what you could do. You could
We're all
also
in the
be
area.
like, Ingeborg, you could absolutely definitely just be like, look, you guys got to duke this out. And that's the advice that you're giving. People get a +1 to following your advice and a -1 to going against it. Like,
Oh.
you could just be like,
I
the
see.
only way to settle this is with blood. I have foreseen it. And then people will just be like, well, shit.
Oh damn.
Oh man. All right.
or
hold
they can
on.
get -1.
I mean, like, Chad is kind of like, oh, Steven's playing the game for him. I'm like, no, it's like, you can say whatever you want.
And
Yeah,
we're new
Crendor,
to this
you can
system,
literally. You're giving the advice.
Crendor,
It can literally be
fate-
anything like,
the fate
don't
is
eat
in your
apples on a
hands.
Tuesday. It can be
The
anything.
fate of all of us is in your hands right now.
Yeah, you can say
All right.
anything right now, and we have to follow
Abracadabra.
it.
Basically, whether we have a third session or not is up to you.
All right. I yell out. I'm just like, everyone, calm down. Olaf is all right. It appears that he is in no danger.
Yeah. All right, like, Scum hears this, and so do Grim and Vibjorn, and Scum
Right.
sort of, like, rolls his shoulders. Yeah, like, Ingebjorn is shouting pretty loudly in her
I
creepy old
pause
woman
my
voice.
like we've had this like beat of drumming like on our shields going. I like pause it for a moment
Yeah.
and I like raise my like axe up and I'm like in a holding stance like
Yeah.
up over
Like-
my shoulder.
Your boys Vlad and Carl Carlson. Carl Carlson, like, keeps beating for a while, and then he's like, oh, what? Why are we not beating?
Carl.
Vlad is like, stop beating, Carl. Stop it.
It's gonna be a thing every episode.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
And
it just, like, chills the fuck out. What?
I'm gonna kind of like step back in front of because I don't know if he stepped further out, but I'm just gonna step back in front of Scum and just kind of stare him down a little bit because I remember his words now and I ain't forgetting.
Okay. Yeah.
She mad, bro.
So, like, Olaf sort of, like, steps away from the group, and he walks over to the other side of the stream, like, across from you, Ingebjorg.
He
and he
walks
says-
across the water?
No. He's
Oh.
he's
Oh my god! Plot twist.
Just like
the
what?
edge of the stream directly across
Okay.
from Ingebjorg. And he says, Mother, look, it's Vali Olverson. It's father's brother. What do you do?
I'm like, that is wonderful news that we've found him, but you did not tell me of where you were going, and it caused great fear in all of us.
Ah, yeah, totally. Damn. That's pretty shit.
And as soon as I hear this sound that it's like a relative or something, and I put my like note like just audibly so everyone can hear just and I put my blades away. That is what this was all about? And I look right down at Olaf and I say, why did you not bring these people to us?
Like, Valley sort of stands up shiftily. He like rolls his shoulders. He's really like scrawny and like he's like super ripped, but like really skinny ripped. And like his clothes are sort of hanging off of him. He's like missing a few teeth. He says, hello, hey, good greetings to you, fair lord. My name is Volley Olverson. It's nice to meet you. I'm came here with my family to leave Norway. That fucking king, he's a right prick. He's an asshole, he is. And, I thought here, free land just to settle, could build a little farmstead and maybe, make off as good as I heard about from hearing rumors of my old brother's whatever woman here. Hi.
Hey.
Right.
I walk up to Olaf and grab his shoulder and I kind of like shake him and grab like he's got meat in his hand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like take the meat and I like chug it. I'm like, "You worried us, boy."
Oh yeah.
So
He
what-
sort of like pulls his arm out of your hand and he says, "Oh, I didn't mean nothing by it. I just I was having a right good time with Vali and drinking some meat and eating some pheasant or something. Yeah, I didn't mean nothing by it."
So I look over at this guy who just introduced himself to me. Valley. Valley, is it?
Oh, yeah.
When did
hi.
you arrive by these longboats?
A few days passed. We came by night. Didn't want anybody seeing us, you know? Figured probably be better that way.
And where did you bring these goats and these cows from?
From Norway. We brought them on the boats.
Indeed. All right. Well, you must all be very wary after such a long journey. Why don't you come down to my longhouse and we will have some drinks and we will talk.
He sort of smiles, like big gap tooth grin. Ah, yeah. Aye, Longhouse, yeah. And he reaches out. He says, "Hey, Gurney, Ingrid, come. Let's travel to this good gentleman's house. We can break bread with him."
When I look at all, like while this is going on, I'm like taking a, like, you know, looking up the camp, looking up and down. Do I see anything that's odd about all of this, or does it all look like what he's saying is pretty legit? Like they've come here because I mean they're bringing like a full crew of. How many men and women do they have versus like?
Now, you don't have a bond with him, so you can't really read him right now.
Yeah.
You could gain a bond with him by giving him a gift of some kind. Maybe that's something you could do when you bring him back to the longhouse, and then over the evening you could sort of like draw out a little more information about him. Or you could sort of consider him, if you consider this an uneasy situation, you could sort of take a look at it that way.
Sure.
Say,
like I maybe don't trust them.
Yeah.
You're saying like Rovik's already like inviting them to our longhouse. Like what?
Yeah, and you're the bodyguard, right? It's your job to make sure everybody's okay. So go ahead and roll plus your versed.
Yeah, I kind of like am following my cultural duty.
Oh,
like,
for sure. But it's my job to make sure shit doesn't.
Oh
go
yeah.
bad.
Bodyguard.
So
Duty.
I have. What was that? Plus first? Did you say?
Plus versed, yeah.
Okay, so it's +1. Ooh, shit.
Ooh,
damn.
Holy, what? All right.
Look
You
at
know
I am
all
like
the things.
I am just like looking them up and down, counting how many like animals they have with them versus women, men, weaponry, all that shit.
Yeah. So you can ask 2 of those questions.
Oh shit. Questions. All right, which
Yeah.
one? Uneasy situation. Well, okay, what is them? Okay.
So the questions are, in case
Yeah,
chat's
I'm
wondering,
looking at
what's the
which
most
one
I can make out of this situation? What snares have been set for me? What is an honorable way out? And what is the safest position I can take?
Okay. What is this? What snares have been set for me?
I'm trying to think. Like, so
Face is
it's
so funny. Shannon's like, "What's happening?"
I'm kind of like, oh god, what is he gonna
The look on your
I'm
face
all
is
scared.
like Grender and JC were like, "All right, what's going
Like,
on?" You're just like, you look so worried.
you're sort of looking around, and you notice that like maybe they butchered a sheep pretty recently, and there's like some wool and some bones sitting nearby or something like that. And he was saying that he brought all these animals from Norway with him. But that sheep, at least, like you're almost certain that what was the name of the neighbor that you had?
Lior?
Yeah. You're almost certain that the color of the wool on that sheep was the same as Lior's sheep. So like even though it doesn't seem like these guys are so obviously bandits, like they're also really not, you know, on the up and up entirely. So, you know, you have a little bit of wariness in your heart when you're looking around and seeing what they've made of their camp here. They also don't keep their camp very well, you know.
Like, it's what about their camp do they not keep that I know?
Yeah, it's a little bit dirty. Like they don't really have like an obvious latrine. Like maybe they've just like used the bathroom a couple places along the shore or something like that.
Just
like
pooping along the shore. What the
right.
hell?
Gotta poop where you gotta poop.
All All right. My next question is going to be, what is the safest position I can take?
You know, like you're honor bound in it to a certain extent to like invite them to your home, to give them bread and salt, to like, protect them for the evening, but you don't necessarily have to let them keep their weapons. Like to a certain extent, it'll be insulting them, but if you can get away with it, then you can like make them give you their weapons while they stay with you. So the way to metagame this would be like for someone who has a bond with you to like give you a +1 or even a +2 on like by helping you sort of convince these guys that yeah.
All right. Rovik is kind of inviting them over, and I'm like, I take the leg, the turkey leg or whatever leg that Olaf is eating, and I have his meat, and I walk over to Rovik, and I kind of like lean my shoulder on him and say, I understand why you are inviting them to the longhouse, but perhaps we should take precautions and put their weapons away for the time being until we feel that everything has been situated.
Are you saying this just to me or loud enough that others can hear it?
Just
as
to you.
well?
Like I'm like leaning over, and I'm like kind of like.
That is good thinking. That is good thinking, Eamon. So I look over at.
I nod. I'm like, hell yeah, because I'm super prideful. I'm like this shit. I know what I'm talking about. And I take like a big bite out of the leg that I'm eating.
Yeah.
So I look at Valley and I say, I understand if you are wanting to finish your supper. So why don't you come down for drinks in, say, an hour or so, and take your time with the walk. It is just south. It's by the river. You'll see it. And I sort of look around. I say, "Come along, everyone. Let's go. Put our blades away. Today was not the day for it."
Yeah. Okay. Like everybody's following you, sort of starts putting their stuff away.
And then I turn around and I say to Valley, "Oh, and one more thing. There is no need for you to bring your weapons to my house. So please leave them here at your camp."
Yeah. Roll plus gendered. Is anybody going to help out with Rovik's insult here?
Sure.
Do I add that to mine, or did they do a different roll for that?
No, you would add it to yours.
Okay.
Sure, I'll help. I mean, I'm the one who proposed it anyway.
Cool.
Do you have a bond with Rovik? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. He gives you shelter. So you have 2. Do you want to spend 2 to give him +2?
Do you think you need to? What's your gendered? I guess I should.
I have a +1 to my gendered already, so.
Rovik kind of needs a 10+ in order for them to definitely do it.
Okay, I can spend my 2. It's fine with me.
Okay.
I was going to anyway, so.
So.
I didn't want to metagame that anyway.
Yep, there you go. Very well done. Okay.
Yeah.
You're sort of implying that they're not trustworthy with their weaponry, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the insult that they're hearing.
Yeah.
And Valley sort of like, he looks around, he looks at the other 2 men he's with, and he looks back at you, says, well, it would certainly be uncouth of us to bring our weapons to the house of so generous a man as yourself. And he gives this sort of greasy smile.
Yes.
While we're walking back, can I kind of talk to Vlad and let him know, like, I feel uneasy about this decision that Rovik has allowed these men to join us at our like invites us to our house when we see clearly that the sheep appear to be our neighbors, and perhaps we should leave one of our men to like scout and like watch over their camp just to make sure.
Yeah,
Who are you saying that to?
To Vlad.
Okay. He thinks it's an interesting idea. He's willing to go along with you if you want him to like be the one.
Yeah. I tell him to
Grim sort of
possibly
steps up.
convince Ari if he can.
Grim sort of steps up, actually. He says, no, wait. I will do it. My fate has been set. If I lose my life this night guarding their camp, then so be it.
I grab him by both shoulders and I say, Odin is with you.
He claps you on the shoulder and he turns around and walks back in the direction of their camp. Hilda, what were you saying?
Oh, I was gonna ask if they're leaving all the weapons at the camp, who's watching it? But if Grim's gonna watch it, then we okay.
Yeah. Okay, cool. It's later that evening, and you're all sitting in the longhouse, enjoying your food and your drink, Valley and Gierny and Ingrid are the three who have showed up. He left the other two men behind.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, what are you guys talking about? What's the topic of conversation this evening in the longhouse?